All right, according to this thing, I'm alive. And hopefully the microphone's working. Wow, that picture is really crappy. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me as well as see me. Hello, Peter Ang and Lazarus and Josiah and Killer Weezer, MCDJ, ACDC, Matt Rubin and Sparkster. I saw you guys. I was trying to chat with you guys a little bit before we got started. It looks like audio is coming through according to this thing. Yes. Looks like those early YouTube videos. All right, so I haven't quite mastered this new interface yet, and this is not how we're going to do it in the future. So hello, Joe Ricondo, Zatharus, how do you do? And James Clark, yes, I've ascended. Yeah, I'm backlit, and I didn't realize that really until we got started here. Hold on, Alexa, turn on the bathroom light. Alexa, turn on the bathroom light. Okay. All right, now I got a little bit more light coming this way. I don't know. Yeah, this is not how we're gonna do it. You know, this is not gonna be the normal deal. Hello, Mark Gordon. Yes, I am the king of the Tuesday night live stream, and I do have a beer here. I've got Sam Adams. Hey, is the picture mirrored for you guys? The picture is mirrored for me. No, not outside, because I've been having trouble keeping a good connection when I go out there. My Wi-Fi router really ought to be strong enough to cover it, but it's been too much of a problem. Okay, so the image is not mirrored for you. It's just mirrored for me. That's weird, man. Anyway, I got Sam Adams, Oktoberfest, and I have another one just in case I finish that one. And for the last... did I turn on your bathroom light? See, I can control your home there. Hello, SEO Toy Review. And thank you, SEO Toy Review, for all your help. Kevin has helped a lot lately, and I greatly appreciate it. I do have story time for the last half hour. And I think we've done all the books that I have, but I think we've done this one only once. So it's been a while, and so maybe it'll be like new. I need to get more of these, and I've thought about it, but every time I have the opportunity, I don't think of it. Hello, Steve Stiles, nice to see you, and Curtis, how do you do? For those just joining, sorry the picture quality is weird this evening. Yes, story time later. Hello, Impossible Pie. Thank you, Impossible Pie. Much appreciated. Hello, Brent Miller. Yeah, Kevin. Kevin will come back at some point. But he's just busy right now. He's busy with work, and he's had to take an extended break. So he will eventually come back, and I'm looking forward to it because I really like Kevin's videos. Both Kevins, both FormBX257 and SEO Toy Review. Hello, Monkey PI. And Mike Layton, how do you do? Glenn Robbins. Hello, Mike Mosner. Oh, you found Duke and Scarlet. Excellent. Well done. Most of my retail shops, Walmart, Target, the big box stores, they have not restocked the Wave 1 figures, and I'm kind of doubting that they will. The Target stores in my area still have never stocked the Baroness, even though that the Baroness with the motorcycle is showing up elsewhere. There are none in my entire state. Believe me, I've checked. Hello, JLS Comics, and thank you as well, JLS Comics, for your Cobra Convergence work. And JLS has some giveaways that he's doing as well. JLS, I really appreciate that you've embraced the event. It means a lot to me. Hello, John Carling. Nice to see you again as well. Where is Venus Flytrap when you need? I still really enjoy WKRP. That show mostly holds up pretty well, except that you can't find episodes except for pirated episodes on YouTube. You know, they've never released that series on DVD except for the first season, and even that was chopped up because of all of the copyrighted music. Yes, and again, thank you, JLS Comics. 46 Zone got the Baroness. Congratulations. There are still none in my entire state, and believe me, I've been checking. Not only online, but I've been going to Target in my area frequently, and there's just nothing. So I mean, if she's shown up elsewhere, I assume she will show up here, but not yet. Not yet. JLS found Duke at Walmart. You know, regardless of how you feel about the classified figures, I think it's cool that we are finding G.I. Joe at retail at all now, because we had a period when there was zero G.I. Joe at retail in any form. Now, I did go to Target today. Actually went to 2 Targets. No Baroness, of course. I thought turkeys could fly. I still watch that on most Thanksgivings. Thank you for knowing the reference. But I didn't find classified figures or the Baroness, but I did find the world's smallest Joes. They, you know, the little tiny ones. They had the world's smallest Joes, and they had Duke and Snake Eyes. So I went ahead and picked up Snake Eyes because I opened the one I already had. So I'll have a sealed world's smallest Snake Eyes for whatever that's worth. But I'm really thrilled about being able to find anything. The fact that there's even anything to hunt for right now is kind of exciting. Yes, the Dark Times, they gone. That's what it was. Hello, Photo Viper. I'm doing all right. You know, I'm surviving. Yeah, sorry, Steve. It is difficult to find some items. I have been able to find Wave 1. I had been able to find Wave 1, but now that's kind of dried up. Hello, Michael Johnson. Hello, United States from the United. I mean, hello, England from the United States. Hello, the United Kingdom from the U.S. of A. Thank you, Yorktown Joe. And I guess Brent Miller is from Philly, which I did not know. Hey there, codename Cujo. Nice to see you, Cujo. Always nice for Cujo to be here. For those who have recently arrived, I'd like to remind everyone that the image quality here that you're seeing will not be standard in the future. I am experimenting a little bit with the new YouTube live interface. So we will be doing better than this in the future. Hello, codename U2Vero2. New2Vero2 has been a little bit my partner in crime here, trying to find these classified figures. We've been virtually hunting them together. So welcome. Thank you, Vincent. I really I don't want to get off on too much of a tangent, but when WKRP in Cincinnati, it was a show that had the perfect cast, and to me is still funny. It's still as funny as it was, in the late 70s when it started. So yeah. Oh, hello, Gaz. I don't think I saw Gaz come in here. And Painted Plastic. Hey, Painted Plastic has joined us. Greetings, sir. And James, how do you do? And Doug Dello. Well, the gang's all here. Rob Arizari got his Arctic Storm Shadow. That's awesome. Everybody seems to be getting their Arctic Storm Shadows early, but except for me. I will be the only one that doesn't get it early. In fact, I'll probably get mine late. Let's just be real. Although, I have it on pre-order. It's same as everybody else. Hello, James Clark. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, so Tony Jackson. It's crazy, and Pimp Daddy Destro got a 6-inch figure. I actually did cover Pimp Daddy Destro in the last review. So for those who want to know the story, I did get to cover that. SEO Toy Review says my Arctic Storm Shadow review goes up. Okay, cool. So you've even got a review coming soon. So if you want to see that figure reviewed, SEO Toy Review is working on it. I do want to say something. I want to say something a little bit about the Destro review, since that's the most recent one that's gone up. Thanks to my Cobra Convergence 5 partners, as always. But when I decided I wanted to cover Pimp Daddy Destro, since that toy uses the mold of the toy that I was reviewing, I needed some images, and that's not one that's easy to come by. So there is a site, yojo.com has linked to it and reference to it, that they specifically gather information about Pimp Daddy Destro. So I found the guy that runs the site. I sent him an email, and to my surprise, he replied and gave me permission to use all of the images. That was really important. I could not have done that segment without their permission to use those images. I just describing Pimp Daddy Destro, I think, is inadequate. You really have to see it. And not only that, he talked to Joe Declassified and got me the pre-production images of Destro version 3. So I was able to use some Joe Declassified information as well. Impossible Pie says, was Pimp Daddy Destro a con exclusive? It was not originally. It really was never supposed to be released, but it was. But it was, it was going to be released, as a regular retail release. And it was in that 3-pack with Cobra Commander and the Baroness. But they decided to go to go a little crazy with Destro. But that was I think they wisely walked that back and decided, hey, this isn't a good idea. But it was too late, because some of them actually escaped to the retailers And just a few of them, a very tiny few of them, still exist now. That's probably the most rare figure in that's actually been released in the line. There are other rare figures, like the recalled Roadblock figure is pretty rare, but Pimp Daddy Destro is Arthur Burghardt gets really offended if you ask him to sign anything Pimp Daddy Destro related, like the San Diego Comic-Con figure. He doesn't. Yeah, and I get that. And honestly, like the whole Pimp Daddy thing, that's not what it was really called. But that was the name it was given, I think, for obvious reasons. And this is why it really was. I mean, it's fine as a joke, but I'm kind of glad that they pulled that back, because imagine having that as a standard retail Destro. I say that, and as I say that, they are issuing a standard retail Destro in the Profit Director paint scheme. So there you have it. We've come full circle. We've come right back around. The joke is reality. So yeah, just stew on that for a second. Hold on a second here. Okay, I'm just telling somebody that I'm live. Hey, everybody, I'm going to take a selfie of us on the live stream. So everybody say hi, okay? Hang on a second here. I'm showing somebody that I'm live streaming. That's why I can't reply right now. So everybody say hi. Hi. There. No, that's a crappy one. Hold on. I can get a better one. There we go. Hi, I'm live streaming. I'm busy right now. There we go. Anyway, well, that killed a couple minutes. Hello, Chicken Fried Steak and Torpedo 83. A bunch of people snuck in here and I didn't say hi. I think I said hello, JK Siege, but hello, if I didn't. Burgess Meredith, Rob M. Oh, your eyes were closed. Oh, well, I might do a redo later. Yeah. Anyway, I need to stop looking at my phone while I'm live streaming. That's terribly rude. Hello, Nikki Lee. And Hong Tai Jiang. So yes, we got off on a slight tangent, but hey, at least that tangent was G.I. Joe related. But I can't blame Arthur Burghardt for not loving the Pimp Daddy Destro. I get it. Especially since, like, he, understandably isn't that fond of certain stereotypes, nor should he be. I don't think that was the intent of the figure, but whether it was intended that way or not, it's been kind of taken that way. And just to remind everyone, if we make it and if we don't die before the last half hour, we will be doing story time. We'll be doing this Find Your Fate book. You will get to choose, or at least you will get to help choose what the choices are. Toys for kids with a pimp. Yeah, that's the thing. It wasn't marketed that way. Hello, Brandon Knight. Nice to see you. It wasn't marketed that way. It was just given that nickname because of the coloring. But that's how it's known now. I mean, everybody knows it as Pimp Daddy Destro. That's just what it is. And Gaz is talking about some kind of Lamborghini. I don't know. Wasn't there a hooker April in TMNT? I have no idea. I thought she always wore that yellow jumpsuit. Oh, thank you. See, this is like one of the last things that I got. I got it really recently, and I've been waiting anxiously for it because as soon as I saw it for sale online, I had to get it. I'm a huge fan of WKRP. Missed that show. Still go back and watch it every once in a while. Oh, she was undercover. I see. Undercover. I gotcha. So not in the yellow jumpsuit then. All right. You know, for kids. Yeah. So, what was I going to say? Something about the, okay. All right. Now I do occasionally talk about, personal stuff on here. I should, I guess, make one personal update very briefly, and then we'll move on. Okay. I have, this has been a year of changes, and this has been a year of transitions. So, another transition that I'm apparently going through is that, at least for the time being, I am unemployed. So I'll be looking for the next step in my career. So there's that bit of personal update. And it's out there. So now let's move on. And we're going to be moving on to the second beer pretty soon, because this one's almost done. It's going, slowly, but I've got some options, or at least I've got some possibilities. So we're fine. We're fine. Or at least I'm hoping we will be fine. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to make that minor announcement, and then we move on. Oh, I'm sorry they gone. Very sorry. Yeah, I get it. You have my sympathy. This has been a tough year, and not just for me. For a lot of people. Thank you, Michael Johnson. It's been a tough year. Oh, hello, Yorktown Joe, and thank you. And thank you, Rob Irizarry. Yeah. So anyway, it's been a tough year in a lot of respects for a lot of people. So I'm just no different. It's when we get some stability, we can kind of look around and see, where we are. But right now, it's just there's not a lot of stability, and that just, I'm not talking about myself. I'm just talking about everybody. It's just how it is. Oh, Brandon Knight's asking about the Cobra Law short videos. Yeah, I got a ton of clips. Most of those clips were usable. Brandon, yours was fine. Yeah, so Cobra Law is moving forward apace. In fact, the video itself is basically done. I'm just waiting for one thing from one person in order to wrap it up and render that thing and get it uploaded. And I'm thinking of setting it as a premiere. I'm thinking about it. Who did a Cobra Law video? Oh yeah, JLS. Now this one is gonna be obviously quite different than my first one. Now my first one, I was concerned that I was too harsh in that one. However, I watched it over again, and I don't really think it's that bad. So I had taken it down, but I'm very likely to put it back up. But for now, I've got a fresh, brand new Cobra Law video, and it's big, and it includes a lot of your clips talking about whether you like Cobra Law or not. Oh, that's all right, Yorktown Joe. No problem. Yeah, the video is basically done. Oh, hello. Hey, there's What's on Joe Mind. Apparently his pipe is calling. So go. We'll wait for you. You go get your crack pipe. Thank you, Nikki Lee. I'm doing the best I can. And now What's on Joe Mind is talking about throwing somebody named Glenn down a mountainside. That's murder, sir. That is murder. Will there be a meltdown? I don't know if I'd call it a meltdown, but I do get rather blunt in part. But after this goes up, I'm thinking of setting it as a premiere because it's big and it's really long. The final cut runs about an hour. It's a long video. And that's with cutting out anything that I thought was unnecessary. It still runs an hour. So, or not quite, close. We're thank you, JLS. Thanks for keeping with the theme. Yeah, What's on Joe Mind had a really good live stream with Paul Aller. I had to watch it after the fact because at the time that it was going up, I kind of had my head lodged in my backside, and I had to pry it out in order to be able to hear anything. So, yeah, I watched it after the fact, but really good live stream with What's on Joe Mind and Paul Aller. So make sure you check that out if you haven't already. Really good stuff. Thank you, MCDJ ACDC. Ice Cream Soldier and all the aliens. Makes the terrible figures great. I think in this video, I was fair. Oh, thank you for the super chat, Killer Weezer. It feels like a G.I. Joe cartoon watching you on the 54-inch TV. I need a 2-pack JoeCon Firefly to finish up my project for CC6. Didn't get my clip in. Oh, well, there's still a little time. I like Cobra Law, but just not the way they use them. And that's one thing I wanted to do is I wanted people who like Cobra Law to express their reasons. I certainly have my reasons for how I feel about them, but that's just my opinion, man. And other people have different ideas, and that's fine. I explain my reasons, and other people explain their reasons. And I feel like as a community, we ought to be able to do this without, attacking each other. We ought to be able to do this, freely with respect towards each other. So that's what I was trying to do, and I was hoping that that we could do that. And I was pretty happy with the responses that I got. People said exactly what they thought about the toys, but people didn't attack other people, so that's what I was wanting. So I think it went pretty well. Oh, Chad sends a super chat. Thank you, Chad. Who would rate as a better figure, Pimp Daddy Destro or Disco Cobra Commander? Hold on a second. Let me think about that. That's a tough choice, man. That's really tough because the Pimp Daddy Destro color scheme is amusing, but it's not good. Yes, Mal, this is WKRP One of my favorite shows of all time. Let me think. I think the Cobra Commander. Although I don't love that figure, when you actually look at the Pimp Daddy Destro leopard print color scheme, it just looks silly. Thank you, Mal. I like the show as well. Rob, it's Cobra Commander version. I think it's 4. The one with the gold medallion on his chest and like the red face shield. That one. I because he has like a big disco looking medallion on his chest. I kind of named him Disco Cobra Commander. Yeah, version 4. Which yeah, I think I'd take that one. If no, all joking aside, I think I would take Disco Cobra Commander over Pimp Daddy Destro. Although I'm sure you could find them both in the same nightclubs. I'm still a better dancer because I did the I promised not to sing. I didn't promise not to dance though. Yeah, that one. Yeah. The one with like the gold helmet that's like goes up here and has like a sort of a snake head thing on it. It's kind of it's weird. It's weird. If they're dressed like that, then I'm scared about Baroness. Well, the Baroness is dressed as a dominatrix, so they all just kind of fit in. All right, guess what time it is, guys? It is 7:30 by my clock, which means, and look, I've had a bunch of beer here. I may belch through it, but we're going to do story time. Okay. Now, I know some of you have been here for story time. Some of you may be new to story time. So let me explain how it works. Okay. Yes, hammer time. You can't touch this. Here's how it works. This is a Find Your Fate book, which means that on certain pages... Oh, I forgot to get my glasses. Dang it, I'll have to get my glasses. On certain pages... Yeah, the transparent face mask. Yeah, the red one. On certain pages, you have choices. Like here on page 3, you're supposed to make a choice, and then you turn to the page for whichever choice you want to make. Okay, so when we get to one of those pages... I'm going to ask you to make a choice. What you do is you type one time the page number you want to turn to, and I will do a very unscientific examination of the replies, and whichever one gets the most, at least by my very quick count, that one wins, and we go to that page, and we will see if we can make it through this story and not die. Our track record hasn't been great, but we have won some. We did win some, but often we tend to fail on these. These can be tough. These can be difficult. But this one, I think we've only tried this one once, so this one will be like new. Okay, this will be new. We'll pretend that it's new. Let me get my glasses because that's the thing that I was going to do before we started, but I forgot. So if you'll talk amongst yourselves just for a moment, they're just right over there. I'll be right back. Let's see here. Okay. All right. Just checking. Let's see. We're doing story time. Okay, one more selfie. Okay, except this time I'm gonna do video. All right, I'm gonna do video, and I'm gonna say, hello, we're live. We're live right now. Hi, a little busy. We're gonna do story time. So can't answer right now because I'm live. Look, I'm live right now. Everybody's saying hi. So talk to you later. Hello, we're live. There. Now is everybody ready? Is everybody ready? Am I ready? I don't know. Oh, I got the BC glasses. Okay, that's fine. Okay, ready? Now, this requires me to read. So if having somebody read to you is boring to you, then sorry. All right, ready? All right, everybody pay attention. All right, everybody focus. Here's the illustration on the first page. It looks like we're in Arctic gear. Let's see. On an isolated military airbase in the Aleutian Islands, the sky slowly darkens into evening. You lean against an old filing cabinet and gaze out the window of the radio room. There's not much to see because the tea kettle boiling away on the hot plate has got the window all steamed up. Delta is almost 1700, 5 o'clock. Delta, it's almost 1700, 5 o'clock, your buddy says. So I guess our code name is Delta in this one. Our code name is Delta. Let's see. Better get ready for your guard duty shift. Glancing up the clock, you catch the second hand sweeping past 12. Yeah, I know you answer, but thanks for reminding me. Breaker, the communications officer, smiles a little as he props his feet up against the desk. It's not that bad out there tonight, he says, picking up the latest weather report. We've got 17 degrees and a wind out of the north-northeast at 10 to 15 knots. Could be worse. He tosses the report back on the desk. You zip up your parka and sling your M16 over your shoulder. When you push open the door, Breaker calls out, "Yo, Delta, I'll send some coffee out to you in about an hour. All right?" You give him a nod as you step outside. So we're going to be stepping out and apparently doing guard duty in the cold with this rifle that is not an M16, but we'll overlook that. Page 2. All right. The cold night air hits you in the face. It hurts. Why does Breaker know about the weather reports anyway? 17 degrees may sound comfortable to him, but he's not out here for 4 hours standing guard duty. You turn the corner by Hangar 2. Inside, the flight mechanics are hard at work on one of the fighters. They're busy attaching an armament to the underside of one of the newest, trickiest, fastest aircraft in the world today. That's what this base is all about. You shiver in the freezing night air. No one wants to be stationed on a windswept island 2,000 miles from the nearest worthwhile town with raw weather and bad food. No one, that is, except a pilot. You know how pilots are. You have to chuckle. Chuckles? Is it Chuckles in here? You have to chuckle when you think that you and a few other guys on the G.I. Joe team actually pulled some strings to get a transfer to this forsaken place. Most people would say you were out of your minds to do it, but then most people couldn't even cut it in a simple single-engine airplane. You, on the other hand, are at this base to learn how to make the U.S. Air Force's most advanced plane soar, and that's the new P-140 fighter. Good old P-140. Turning away from the hangar, you begin to patrol the apron of the runway. Your eyes are open, but your mind is on last night's test flight. You spend the next hour patrolling up and down the runway. So is this guy the test pilot? Are they sending the test pilot out on guard duty? Don't they need him for, like, I don't know, other things? Yeah, that's 17 Fahrenheit, FYI. I'm pretty sure. All right. You spend the next hour patrolling up and down the runway, thinking about how great the test flight for the P-140 was. Once again, you execute a dress perfect bout face and start back up the strip. Over by the communications tower, a side door opens and 3 members of the G.I. Joe team step out, heading your way. It's too dark to see clearly who they are. Your watch shows almost 1,800 hours. Breaker gives good takeout service. You can almost smell the coffee. Suddenly, you sense that something's very wrong. The 3 guys coming toward you break into a run. Then, without warning, they pull out their weapons and open fire on you. They're not your teammates at all. They don't open fire on you most of the time. Not on Sundays. As you dive to the frozen ground, you cover and roll through the bullets. Just having a roll through the bullets. You have room for one thought: infiltrators. My thought was pizza, but his thought is infiltrators. It's got to be Cobra. It's the only organization in the world that could possibly get through the tough G.I. Joe security system. It's hard to tell what's happening because it's night and you've flattened out on an airstrip, but you can raise your head just enough to see your enemies cut over to the apron where 4 P-140s are kept ready. Then another burst whistles over your head. What should you do in a situation like this? Okay, you have options, okay? Options. Ready? Are you ready for your options? Okay. Option 1. You're supposed to be guarding this installation. Turn to page 18 to get those Cobra agents. Or don't be a fool. Lay low, keep your head down, and turn to page 72. So if you want to go after the Cobra agents, turn to page 18. If you want to lay low, turn to page 72. So make your selection. Either go 18 for go after the Cobras, 72 for lay low. 72 actually has a few votes. 18, we're pretty even. 18 is starting to win. I think some folks have gotten risk averse because sometimes when we get overly aggressive, that's when we end up dying. Okay, it looks like 18 has won. All right, I don't think 72 can catch up. So it looks like 18. Well, 72's got a few more. 18. I'm thinking 18. I'm thinking 18 got it, but 72 did have a few there toward the end. So let's. All right, guys. Are you ready for page 18? Page 18. You're flat on the airstrip pavement, the bullets of the Cobra infiltrators exploding all around you, but you won't be still for long. If anybody starts shooting up the airbase when you're on duty, they better be ready to catch a little heat. For a moment, the firing stops. Excuse me. Now's the time. Jumping to your feet, you scramble ahead for 20 yards, then roll back onto the ground. Everything is quiet, so they didn't seem to notice. You do it again, getting closer still. Now you can see what they're up to. They're going to steal one of the fighters. Lining up the sights of your M16 rifle, you squeeze off a burst of bullets just over their heads. Why are you shooting over their heads? Kill them. They dive behind the landing gear, and you fire another round of shots. A second later, they answer back. There's no mistaking the sound of a rifle-launched grenade. Uh-oh. Just before it hits, you realize you're about to become the most beautiful fireworks the Aleutian Islands have ever seen. You should have kept your head down instead of playing a foolhardy hero. Well, nothing like going out with a bang. The end. We lost already. We lost. I don't think we have ever lost on the first choice, the first option, and we died. We didn't just fail the mission. We died. Well, we can't end it like that. We can't end it like that. Okay, I'm all right. I'm getting into the DeLorean where I'm using my Back to the Future powers, and we're gonna go to page 72, and we're gonna get one more try. Okay. But hey, if we die again, oh, thank you for the super chat, Mike Layton. If we die again, that's it. All right, page 72. The pavement of the airfield apron is icy cold beneath your body. You're dying to get up and go after those Cobra agents, but there's not a lot of cover in the middle of an airstrip. Right now, your first priority is to stay in one piece. Every time you lift your nose, those bandits open fire, so you just keep your head down and wait for something to happen. You have no idea what the Cobra agents are trying to do. The last time you saw them clearly, they were climbing into one of the P-140s, and that was 30 or 40 seconds ago. Suddenly, the whistling sound of 2 turbojet engines fills the night air. They're going to steal the plane. A moment later, the P-140 fighter is zooming down the runway in a full throttle takeoff. It roars into the air just above your head. The blast from its jet engines sends you flying off the strip. You're on your feet in an instant, but the stolen P-140 is already climbing hard and fast. All at once, it disappears into the clouds and is gone. Page 53. My goodness. We're not good at this. 53. And we have another option at the end of page 53, guys. So we got to make another choice, okay? Here we go. As you stand on the darkened airfield, your ears are ringing from the jet takeoff, but you don't have time to worry about that now. Cobra has infiltrated your base and stolen one of your top secret P-140 fighters. Maybe Breaker should have got off his ass and come out and helped. I think this is Breaker's fault. I'll bring coffee. You've got to do something, and it better be smart and fast. Normal operational procedure would be to file a complete report with your commanding officer, Hawk. But that kind of thing takes time. Man, I don't want to take time and do paperwork. There are still 3 fighters parked on the apron and ready to roll. Using one without orders is against regulations, but it's your best chance at catching those Cobra agents. What do you choose to do? Regulations? Who needs regulations? Yeah, good point, SEO. Breaker doesn't come with a gun. He just have to call somebody. All right, we got options. Okay, you ready? If you decide to alert Hawk and do it by the book, go to page 26. If you decide to take a fighter now and explain later, page 40. So it's either tell Hawk, page 26, or take a fighter plane, page 40. So type your option, type your choice, 26 or 40. I mean, they got us once already for being overly aggressive. They wouldn't do the same thing twice, right? Oh man, 40 is winning big time. I'll give it a couple more seconds. But I think I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, they can't kill us twice on the aggressive option. They got to change it up, right? So this time, the aggressive option might be the better one. So I think 41. I'm going with 40. And I can tell you that at least we don't die at the end of this page. So I'll give you that. Okay, page 40. Regulations or no regulations? Regulations, schmegulations. You've got to stop these Cobra agents and recover the aircraft they stole. You'll just have to steal a plane of your own. Stealing is wrong. I'm going to steal this plane and teach them a lesson. So you'll have blah, 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 blah. It takes you 35 seconds to reach the nearest P-140. You check the fuel tanks, the rocket pods, and the rest of the aircraft really quickly. There's no sign of sabotage. You rip the protective cover off the engine, then you climb up the side of the plane and drop into the cockpit. You buckle yourself in and snap the electronics on. The systems check shows that both engines are good, so you rev up and turn onto a runway. The fighter races down the strip. The vibrations inside the plane build up as you increase your speed. I'm simulating the takeoff here. That's why I'm shaking. I don't. I'm not. I don't have a condition. I'm simulating. I'm getting into the rhythm of the thing. Let's see. The plane leaps into the night sky. It's 1,800 hours and 42 seconds. Your mission has begun. Page 10. Turn to page 10. Now, I don't have Parkinson's. I'm just trying to play along with the rough takeoff. All right, page 10. As the P-140 soars 27,000 feet, you feel great. There's nothing like being in the air and hot on the tail of your enemies. You activate the aircraft's radar tracking device and get a fix on the stolen fighter. It shows up as a fluorescent green blip on your radar screen. That plane is going to be impossible to miss. Then, switching to security frequency, you get on the radio. Falcon Base Tower, this is Delta Fighter 1. Do you read? You know that Breaker is still on duty, so you wait patiently for his reply, but it doesn't come. There's no Breaker. There's no Breaker. Once again, you try to make contact. Falcon Base Tower, this is Delta Fighter 1. Will you get it together down there? Suddenly, a howling screech fills your earphones, then slowly fades away. Delta Fighter, this is Tower. Sorry for the interference, but things got a little raw here. Things got raw. Our communications got crossed up and our radar is down. What's your position? I'm at 27, you begin, but then you quickly nick off the radio. Infiltrators on base, stolen planes, communication blackouts. You know someone wants your position. That voice sure sounded like Breaker, but you aren't certain. You better be careful. You could be giving away your position to the enemy. Got a page. Turn to page 60. Page 60. Good. It's taken a long time for us to get a choice. Having the choices is the fun part of the book. You're flying 27,000 feet off the ground. Well, that's redundant. We already knew that. Yet you suspect a possible sabotage by someone who's still down there on the G.I. Joe base. You'll have to outsmart them. Falcon Tower, you say into the radio. This is Delta Fighter. Things have been happening pretty fast around here, but I want to get all the details down in a full report. Over. Go ahead, Delta. We're listening. You adjust a few dials on the aircraft's control panel. Well, let's do important things first. I want it on the record that Breaker owes me $12 from last week, and no matter what happens to me, forget it, buddy. A voice snaps over the radar. It's $8.50 and not a dime more. And if you try to jack it up any higher, you're going to find a crease in your fuselage that will severely affect your performance. Over. That's the classic threat, right? How many times on the playground did I hear a kid say, I'm going to leave a dent in your fuselage? Breaker, you say with a big smile. It's a comfort and pleasure to talk to you, but I had to be sure that it was really you in control of the tower. Here's my report. Turn to page 35. 35. Oh, hey, we got an illustration, too. Got an illustration on page 35. So, I like the pictures. Okay. And we got choices. We got choices at the end of this page. You ready? All right, we're 27,000 feet in the air. And it's we say you quickly check the P-140's controls. Then you give Breaker the facts over the radio. At 1742 hours, 3 unidentified personnel opened fire on me midway down runway 2. They bombarded a P-140 and took off in it, heading north. I'm tracking them on the radar screen. I'm going to stick with them, but I'll need some backup support. No problem, Delta. We'll put together a team and have them in the air in 5 minutes, tower out. The radio goes quiet. You're alone in a pitch black sky at 27,000 feet. Look, how many times is this thing going to mention that we're at 27,000 feet? Everybody try to remember that, okay? In case there's a quiz. We're at 27,000 feet. Okay. You watch the Bandit P-140 on the radar screen. It's below you at 22,000 feet. This is important information. Flying smooth and easy. Suddenly, it banks hard to the left and goes into a full power dive, heading right into the ground. It looks like the pilot's making a run for it. What are you going to do? Your first impulse is to stay on the Bandit's tail, but it's dark as death tonight, and the other pilot's flying like a maniac. Maybe you don't have to match his suicidal dive. Maybe you can track him just as well on the radar screen. Well, what's it going to be? Okay, here are your options, okay? If you hang with the Bandit, point the nose of your plane earthward and dive. Turn to page 56. That's 56 is to go into the nosedive and follow that plane down there. Or if you keep your nose up, figuring that as long as the blip is on the radar screen, there's no problem, page 21. So your options are go into a nosedive, 56, or just follow them on the radar screen, 21. So select your options, 21, just follow them on the radar screen, or 56, go into that dive and chase him down into the dirt. 21 or 56. 20. Oh, poor goose. Oh, poor goose. Oh, lots of 21s. Okay. I think we have become risk averse. Almost everyone is choosing 21. I'll give you a couple more seconds. Yeah, there's unless suddenly a whole bunch of people select 56, then 21 wins. So let's go to page 21. 21. All right, ready? Okay, page 21. You decide against the kamikaze crash, keeping your aircraft flying smoothly and your gaze glued on the radar screen. You stay cool, figuring there's no place for the Cobra agent in the stolen P-140 to go, so there's no reason to get excited. Even if he starts weaving in between the islands and the icebergs to confuse radar, he'll still have to come out sooner or later. Then he'll show up on the screen again. You lean back and wait for the enemy pilot still diving toward the Earth to make his move. Just before he's about to crash, he pulls the nose of the plane up expertly. Then he begins a looping flight pattern in and out of the islands. You have to admit he's a great pilot, especially for night flying. But the radar keeps close tabs on him, though every now and then he slips off the screen for a few seconds. During one of the momentary lapses in radar, a blip shows up on the screen about 30 miles below you, or behind you. 30 miles behind you. But you're sure it couldn't be the enemy plane. There's no way it could have gotten that far behind you so quickly. Chances are it's the Falcon base backup team come to help you. You switch your speed down to Mach 0.6 and wait for your buddies to catch up to you. But as the plane pulls up behind you, it fires a heat-seeking missile. You just assumed it was your backup team, and now you're in big trouble. Turn to page 30. Uh-oh. You only have seconds before that heat-seeking missile finds you and fries you. There's just one thing to do. You bank your plane hard to the right, making a quick, tight curve in no time. You're behind the other aircraft. And the missile is right behind you, closing fast. This plan better work, otherwise you're going to be just a bunch of airborne debris very soon. Suddenly, you cut your altitude. All at once, you're a few hundred feet below your enemy, but the missile hasn't changed its course. Now it's locked onto the heat of the stolen P-140, not you. In just a few seconds, the missile catches up with the stolen aircraft. Your enemy goes up in a massive fireball. Well, you didn't recapture the stolen plane, nor did you find out where it was heading, but at least you made sure Cobra never sank its fangs into the top secret P-140. Your only real regret is that you didn't have any marshmallows on hand in your aircraft. That plane sure made a giant bonfire. We won. We won. We did it. We killed and destroyed the enemy at yes, thank you, Mal, at roughly 26,500 feet. We did it. And look, we did it with 1 minute left to go in the live stream. 1 minute. Well, guys, thank you for tuning in for another Tuesday live stream. I hope you had fun. I hope you had a good time. We will do this again next week. I'll do it every Tuesday. I enjoy seeing you guys. I enjoy talking to you guys. And I hate to miss these. These are a lot of fun. So thank you everyone for your time. I'm going to wrap it up. I will say goodnight. Don't forget, there's more Cobra Convergence coming. Real Hector Canales was today, and tomorrow is JoeFan82. So make sure you tune in for that. But for now, I will ride off into the sunset. And I don't know how to end this. I'll say goodnight. Good night, everyone. Bye.